What is going on, true believers? Guys, that debate was something else last night. So if you are a crypto maxi and you were looking for a reason to vote for Joe Biden, you didn't find it. If you were looking for a reason to vote for Donald Trump, you found way more reasons to vote for Donald Trump than you did. And that might be a very good thing for crypto going forward. Now, I do have, it was just released a little while ago, a statement from the White House as Joe Biden responds to a lot of the complaints. There's been a call for Gavin Newsom to replace him as the potential nominee for the presidency in 2024. So the Biden administration has released a statement, and I'm going to read that for you now. This is from Joe Biden. Bitch, I'm stylish. Glocked up big t-shirt, Billie Eilish. So, Joe Biden apparently won the debate using a different sort of strategy. So shout out to Armani White. And yeah, it's getting a little bit weird out here. Anyway, let's talk about what's going on in crypto. Nearly half of Shiba Inu holders are now facing losses. So what's next for SHIB? A big pump is coming. Also, SHIB just entered a massive buy zone for a big time rally. So we could be seeing something happen very, very shortly for SHIB. I continue to tell you that I do think that there's going to be a pretty big pump happening. Now, there is an estimate that if the Solana ETF, by the way, almost 0% chance that it gets approved, but here we are. And they say that anywhere between, I'll give you the number in just a little while. There is a projection right now for what Solana is going to hit once it gets approved. Also, Kanav Korea, that's the leader of Jump Crypto, was an intern for Jump Trading, was put in charge of the Jump Crypto office, and you know what he immediately did? Whatever he did, I don't know what he did, but whatever he did, he immediately resigned because the CFTC has said that they're opening an investigation into Jump Crypto. So he gone. Also, a key Fed measure shows inflation is at 2.6% from a year ago. That is a significant decline, which means that the market should have a reason to pump. The problem with the market is this is the biggest expiry day that we've had in a very long time. 6.6 billion in Bitcoin and 3.4 billion in Ethereum are on the block for today. So we could be seeing, you know, some wildly volatile movement in the crypto market. We got great information. We got great information today. More positivity for the broader market. However, the market is down about $12 billion and declining fast because the U.S. market, the takers that they are out here crybabying and paper handing because it's what the U.S. market does. I don't have a fix for it. So, but we'll talk about all that and more as we get into the show. And we're going to make this show, we're going to try to make the show a little bit quicker today. So it's not financial advice, but am I always right? I don't know if I'm always right. I'm always believes 182.
I can read a chart like a Superman, and I've got a show that has a lot of fans. I'm streaming every day and almost every night. I bought some Bitcoin because I see the light. You might wonder who I am, but don't forget that I'm the man. They call me, please, I'll do any chart you want me to. They call me, please, I'll break the crypto wallet down for you, for you, for you. I built a crypto channel streaming live at night, and I'm the only YouTube streamer who's always right. Every morning I go live and say to all you guys, don't fall for all these motherfuckers and their lies. You might wonder who I am, but don't forget that I'm the man. They call me, please, I'll do any chart you want me to. They call me, please, I'll break your crypto wallet down for you, for you, for you. I don't know what to do because my memberships are missing you.
Uh-oh.
What's going on, everybody? Got a new t-shirt design. I wanted to show it to you today. Don't stop believing. What are you waiting for? Go to the store, order a shirt. Now back to the show. All right, guys. So let's get into it. First of all, if you good morning, then good morning. If you don't good morning to you anyway, because you don't tell me what to do. Apparently, neither does Joe Biden, because, oh my God, like, what the just happened here? By the way, it is my belief, again, that Gavin Newsom will be the nominee within the next 30 days. I think the DNC is going to have an emergency convention, and they're going to move away from Joe Biden. You know, in the moment where Joe Biden needed to show strength and resiliency and an ability to keep up with Donald Trump, if not in policy or witticisms, at least with energy. He needed to show some energy, and he did not. And of course, they did say that he had a cold. A cold doesn't turn you into whatever was on that stage. So, you know, I do want to say that it does not appear to me, or it doesn't look like to me at this point, that Democrats have a chance at the White House. So if I'm the DNC, I'm in secret meetings right now, getting together with everybody, asking Gavin Newsom if he'll do it, and then telling Joe Biden you can't do it, and that an announcement should be forthcoming. And I think that is the only path forward for the Democrats. And then I think that, you know, Gavin Newsom's going to have to walk out there and say, look, we got to build that wall, and we got to slow down the immigrants that are coming in here. We are a nation of laws. We have to uphold those laws. We want to help everybody, but we cannot help everybody. And then he's going to have to say, oh yeah, by the way, I'm taking Bitcoin for donations and cryptocurrencies. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's going to have to do something radical. The whole DNC is going to have to do something radical if they want a shot. Now, the other part is they also are meeting with Ro Khanna. He's heading it up, and he's one of the youngest people in Congress. Ro Khanna, Mark Cuban are going to have a roundtable with Joe Biden in the month of July to talk about cryptocurrency and mass adoption. So everything for crypto still moving forward, no matter who you're voting for, no matter what's happened. It's going to be more bullish, in my opinion, if you vote Donald Trump. It's going to be less bullish if you vote for whoever the Democratic nominee is at this point, because nobody's shown themselves to be a beacon of light in the Democratic Party about crypto adoption, except Ro Khanna. And we're probably not going to vote for Ro Khanna because he's too young and complicated. So good morning to Joe Lopez Garcia, Jay Locke, good morning. Brian Bootyhead, good morning. Hammerside, good morning. Richard Caldwell, good morning. The Fun Family in the Necco Army is in the house. Real Life Miracle, good morning. Blockchain Bonehead, Chad Dominic, Aaron Thompson, Carlos is in the house. Rakoff Protocol today, Alpha. Yeah, we're going to be talking about, I'm going to be doing an interview with the Rakoff token people in the next couple of days. So you guys are going to get some, you're going to be surprised about what's, I think, going on here. So Jeff T, good morning. VK, good morning. Richard Nelson, good morning. Raymond Pritchard, good morning. Just Snaked You, good morning. Willard Morris, the Lesson One, good morning. Robert Freeman, Chad Dominic, Raymond Pritchard, again, Robert Freeman, Jason Pollins, Crypto Tip in the house. We've got Crypto Antagonist. So, guys, let's talk about what's going on here. I want to get through this as quickly as I possibly can for you guys. When is altcoin season? Fuck if I know. As a matter of fact, I'm going to tell you that part of this show today is a little bit of a prediction. I'm not going to tell you exactly when, because we're going to look at the data and we're going to see what it looks like. But I think that we're on the verge of something. I'm not sure whether it's just a Bitcoin blow off or if it's going to be an altcoin season that just pops up at some point. Could also be just a continuation of the meme coin market. However, we do have to address the elephant in the room, and that elephant's name is Kanav. So we're going to talk about that too. So first and foremost, the most important part right now is Shiba Inu. Nearly half of Shiba Inu holders facing losses. What's next for SHIB? By the way, I got a new AI generated software, and the pictures and the images that I'm trying to do right here, that's what we're going to That's where we try to be using this a little bit more going forward, and have a little bit of fun with it. But nearly half of SHIB holders are in losses. So the price trend for SHIB has been disappointing over the last several weeks. This decline has affected investor sentiment, as evidenced by the narrow gap between the number of holders who are in the money and those out of the money. Now, SHIB has experienced a steady decline and is looking very, very oversold right now. The short-term moving average fluctuated between acting as support and resisted. It's now solidified its role as resistance and has remained in this position for several weeks. So that means that you are in a situation where you have a buying opportunity, right? When you see the RSI start to get low, when you start to see all of these things happening, then that's when you're going to want to get in, right? So the RSI is slightly below 30, suggesting that the asset is oversold. Being in such a state could signal a big buying opportunity. So what does that mean? Well, it means that the SHIB price is poised for a massive rally because it has entered a buy zone. In recent weeks, crypto analyst SHIB Knight highlighted insights by attaching a chart displaying major price levels for SHIB. The analysis suggests that SHIB has entered a new buy zone, signaling an attractive opportunity for investors. That opportunity is around 1,800. With an emergency buy setting at around 1760. Well, guess what? That's exactly where we are right now. So if that is the case, and that is the case, allegedly, then we've entered the buy zone for another reversal on SHIB. Now, when you look at SHIB on the 1 hour chart, you're going to see an RSI of about 46. RSI of 46, not a buy zone. So no matter what anybody tells you, that's not a buy zone. And it's also 46 on the 4 hour. On the daily, it's down to 30, though. That's what really, really matters. The shorter time frames, not so important. Now, if you were to look at the chart for SHIB right now, then what you see is you've got this opportunity for a bounce coming up. Now, what I would say is most likely we've turned 200 MA into resistance here. And by the way, this thing is breaking. This is the EMA, so it's a little bit different than the SMA. However, it is breaking down towards it. So this is potentially where you get a significant bounce because you did not get it off of the 200 MA. So this other EMA with a low RSI, this is all a signal that there should be a big impulse move coming very, very soon. And, to be fair, like it looks like that's exactly what's happening. If I draw this out just a little bit more, I'm going to draw this again, this just a little bit more, then what do you see happening here? What you see is we went down this channel, and I'm going to move this out of the way as well, and we'll get rid of that. But what you're seeing is that we had the breakout above the line, and after breaking out, we came straight back down for a back test again on that channel. And right now we're meandering along it, but we need a breakout. And that significant breakout should go up above the 50S moving average. If it does, then it's going to be a bullish indicator of upside momentum. So that means that we're going to have to get back in that 22-24 range for a breakout. And that's what's going on with SHIB right now. So if you are not following it, you're not paying attention to it, then pay attention, because there might be a significant rally coming up pretty soon. Natural market makers most probably like the project at this price right now, and will probably be making some moves into it. So, and by the way, whales continue to accumulate. But let's move on. How much the spot Solana ETF in the United States could increase the Solana price? Now, there's basically an estimate, and what they've done is they've taken the ranges right here of how Bitcoin ran. So to gauge the impact, TSR Market drew parallels with the Bitcoin experience following its own ETF approval. Historically, Bitcoin price surged from 27,000 to 63,000, driven primarily by ETF-related inflows, which is a 2.3% increase. Now, applying similar scenarios to Solana, predicting the lower market cap coming up because it's probably undervalued at this point, at this range, they're saying that the price increase range is going to be from 1.4x where we are right now. So what you're basically saying is about a 40% increase from here all the way up to a 9x. 9x puts Solana right around $1,100, which seems a little bit more realistic for the type of energy in Solana, but there is a problem with Solana. The problem is that there's been a lot of what they call wash trading, a lot of fake numbers that have been coming through this ecosystem. And by the way, it's not exclusive to Solana. All of these projects that are like this, they do the same thing. They all have the same thing happening to them. So you're not getting something new when I say Solana has a bunch of wash trading. And this is exactly why Binance and CZ went to jail. So the wash trading on Solana is kind of being exposed right now. And that is making people, kind of do a double take and look at it from a different perspective. Now, if you go to DeFi Llama and you look at the way that it has trended as far as chain prices, well, the 24-hour volume for Solana still significantly high. Right here, you can see 2 billion in trading on Ethereum and then 1.36 on Solana. So it's still significant in its volume profile. However, again, we're given to be told that is part of a lot of wash trading for especially all stable coins. A lot of 90% less stable coins on Solana now than there were 3 weeks ago. So is that part of a bigger problem? And that's going to be the question. So look for Solana to have a big move, and that's going to help you answer the question that was asked a little while ago. Are we in an altcoin season? Well, we can't get into an altcoin season until Bitcoin eats. Now, Bitcoin did hit an all-time high and is probably set for another breakout. Ethereum, we're going to get an announcement on the ETF probably in the next 7 days. We might even start trading by the end of next week. Like the S1 filings have been done and all the minor changes have been completed. So we are probably in the thick of things right now. So I'm going to say, and I'm not sure, I don't have any data yet to back this up, but it does feel like we might have something happening. You know what I mean? Like we might have something happening again that's going to lead to some kind of altcoin blow off, an early altcoin blow off. So we're going to keep watching it. But part of the reason that you should be nervous about that thing happening right now is this guy right here. This guy is Kanav Korea. He went from an intern to the leader of Jump Crypto Trading, and now he is leaving. Now, let me put the timeline. Kanav Korea, who ascended from intern to the head of cryptocurrencies at Chicago-based trading heavyweight Jump Trading by the age of 25, has left the company. The news follows a Fortune report last week that says this: the CFTC is now probing Jump Crypto, previously one of the sector's biggest players. Now, what does that mean broadly? They got him. That's pretty much what it means. They know that he's been doing some shady shit. And by the way, most of the shady shit that he does is at this point in, you got it, Solana. So what happened? He immediately resigned his position as soon as the CFTC stepped in, and he made this announcement. Today marks the end of an incredible journey for me. This was done on June 24, 4 days ago. It's my last day at Jump, a moment I'm receiving with both a heavy heart and great excitement about the road ahead. He was thrown out of this building, okay? So I'm leaving with a set of awesome relationships and unique and valuable and shaping experiences. It's difficult for me to adequately express my gratitude. Now, remember, this is the guy that collapsed the Terra Luna ecosystem. Now, we didn't know that at first until we really started to get some information here that you just didn't know before. But in that lawsuit with the SEC and Terraform Labs, you really got to see a lot of information you previously did not have. That information showed Jump Trading stepped in, bought $800 million worth of Terra, which helped to prop the price and make it look like it was still stuck to its peg. But then they were the sellers that sold off on it a long time ago. And then that depegged the whole thing and broke Terra and Luna and caused the death spiral. So we now know that this was the company that was selling. And by the way, they're able to sell off. It's not like they can't sell off. There was nothing that prevented them. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, there we are. That's, these are the culprits. Were they assisted by other people? Probably. Probably Citadel has a hand in it somewhere. Probably, BlackRock probably has a hand in it somewhere. Everybody's looking for trading opportunities. Jump Crypto was the reason that it collapsed, though. And now that we know that, we move forward to, well, what are they doing right now? What they're doing right now, Solana. What are they doing? They're the #2 builder on the Solana network behind the Solana Foundation. So what does that mean more broadly? Well, it means that there's a pause right now with Jump Crypto, I'm sure, because Kanav Korea is no longer there. And that would lead itself to, there has to be somebody coming up. And do they have the same vision that he had? And does it apply to the Solana ecosystem? If it does, then consider that Solana probably going to have a nice big run. But if not, then you might be looking at a run on price. And, if that ETF starts working its way through, the process, then 1.4 times instead of 9x. I don't know. We're going to see what happens. Again, this is all happening kind of real time, real quickly. So, but what an asshole. That's all I can say. What a fucking asshole. Anyway, let's move on here and let's talk about the key Fed measure shows inflation rose 2.6% in May. So, and this is the Fed's preferred measure, right? And what they're saying is this is probably the reason that we're going to get a crypto rally. Now, are we going to get a crypto rally right now? We should actually have one. Boom, all the way right now. The reason that we don't have one at this point is most likely because, and by the way, crypto was down 13 billion when we started. It's now down 20 billion. And it's going to be because of those Friday expiries. Those Friday expiries probably out of control at this point. 6.6 billion, 3.4 billion. There's billions of dollars right now on the hook. So we're probably going to see some dunks on prices. We're going to see some pumps on prices. We're going to see a big fight here, but it's going to be how much fight people have. If there's not a lot of fight in the bulls, then the bears are going to win, and we're going to see a big dump in crypto on a very good data day. And when I say very good data day, this is the type of number 2.6 that personal income, and there's a bunch of different numbers that go into this. But you will also see that treasury yields have declined precipitously a bunch of days, especially after this information came out this morning. We're seeing that the markets are starting to heal, if you will, and correct. And this should mean a big sort of rally, right? So we're going to be watching to see whether or not it happens. But, core personal consumption expenditure price index increased just a seasonally adjusted 0.1 for the month and was up 2.6% from a year ago. May marked the lowest annual rate since March, which was the first time in this economic cycle that inflation topped the Fed's 2% target. So this is the first time, like, we're back down to the number that caused the problem. So we're over the hump, if you will. Still a hump, still 34 trillion national debt, still, there's still plenty of problems. But from the Fed's perspective, this is the area where, remember, they backed off of 2% and said it has to be leaning into the 2% direction. This is the first time we got data which we can now justify a rate reduction. So this does change things. We have the end of this month, the end of next month, I'm sorry. The end of July is the next time they're meeting. And this is where they might talk about the first 25 basis point rate reduction. So that's going to be like adding money into the economy, and that's going to cause just an explosive sort of move. Now, let me take that a step further and say also this. Joe Biden went on stage as a zombie that couldn't speak properly. And people, Harry Sisson was out here talking about, well, you can't be making fun of a guy's speech impediment. Yeah, we can. It's a free country. It's literally our First Amendment right. Is it in poor taste? Sure. But also, Joe Biden was doing it. It was not all about that, because you know what? At a younger age, he didn't talk like that. This is not just a speech impediment. This is a doddering old man who's about to fall over during a conversation. You know what I mean? Like the American people watched last night Joe Biden to see if he could make if he could do another 4 years, right? That's what it is. Can Joe Biden handle another 4 years? And to me, and this is what I posted on X, the only job Joe Biden had last night was to convince the American people that he had 4 more years in him, and instead he made people doubt he had 4 more hours in him. If you're still voting for Biden, then you're not thinking clearly. Even if you hate Trump, and many do, you cannot put a man in charge that clearly cannot make it 4 more years mentally or physically. This is a precipitous decline that we're witnessing. The DNC should be holding an emergency convention to nominate someone else. This is, this is, I don't know what else to say when it comes to that. And then I also later on I said, does anybody really need to know what the DNC will do in the next 30 days? They're going to nominate Gavin Newsom. I can tell you that right now. Okay, I will tell you at this point that Gavin Newsom is going to be the nominee. That they are going to move on from Joe Biden. He's not going to like it, but the DNC has no choice at this point. That was the most embarrassing thing that's happened to them in a very long time. So you can't continue at that point. And by the way, while we're at it, shouldn't we note at this point that Iggy Azalea, that mommy is also daddy, and that Andrew Tate, no. Iggy Azalea has been incredible. She's been incredible. So and way deeper into crypto than anybody would have ever thought. So just crazy. Hunter Proof says 25th Amendment incoming. I don't think so. I think you wind it down. I think the cabinet will not do that. So I don't think so. I think we're just going to move on to Gavin Newsom, and we're going to thank Joe Biden for all of his service. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, by the way, I did see something, and I'm going to get off topic for just a second here. I saw some crazy conversation with Republicans yesterday, I think, with one of the ambassadors for something, and they were talking about, the attack on President Trump and, all of this kind of shit. And they were just going over, they were going over, well, what about Hunter's laptop and all of the data and the information that was discovered to be on there? Well, Hunter Biden's a private citizen. The dumbest fucking thing that I've ever heard anybody talk about. And by the way, I'm voting for Donald Trump. I'm voting Republican for this election, but it's the dumbest bunch of idiots that I've ever seen out here saying stuff like, what about Hunter Biden? What about Hunter Biden? Hunter Biden's not the goddamn nominee. That's the son of the nominee. And this is and what they found on Hunter Biden's laptop. They spent 4 years not finding anything damning on Joe Biden. They couldn't prosecute. They couldn't do anything. Every single Republican has been lying to you because that's the way that they do it. They're disingenuous losers. All of them, by the way, and not just because they're Republicans. The Democrats are fucking losers too. But the point to that is they didn't find anything. So when they keep saying, what about Hunter Biden's laptop and whatever, however Marjorie Taylor Greene, shut fire, darn it. What about that? Or whatever dumb shit she says. None of this. And by the way, and here's something very, very important. Some people are fall for some crazy shit, right? Chad Dominic here says, what about the big guy? Like Donald Trump, Hunter Biden is a liar. So there was no evidence, no matter how much you like Donald Trump and how much you want to sniff his socks or whatever creepy shit you men who idolize Donald Trump are doing. I don't know what to say to that. Nothing on Hunter's laptop incriminated Joe Biden. Nothing incriminated the big guy. In fact, the plant that there was in the Republican Party who testified that Joe Biden did all of that, there were multiple witnesses to that same conversation. That guy was prosecuted. He is going to prison for lying to Congress. And in fact, nothing but multiple sources that any of that happened. So this is absolutely crazy. This is absolutely insanity. It's crazy. You were lied to. And look, if you want to be lied to and you like being lied to, continue to be lied to. But that's okay. And that's okay for you. It's not okay for me. Donald Trump is exactly what Joe Biden said while he was on stage, a loser and a liar. So I have no problem saying that and still voting for him. If you guys understand what I mean. I'm about crypto adoption. I don't give a shit about all this other stuff. Well, listen, let me tell you something about, let me just tell you something about the cryptos and the currencies. That's exactly how Maxine Waters talks, right? It's just absolutely fucking insane. And by the way, I don't like any of them. I don't like any of them. You're the ones that make the conflict, right? Because you need everybody to be in the basement of the non-existent in the non-existent basement of the pizza parlor in Washington D.C. from 6 years ago. You losers are still crying about that. You know what I mean? Not that the crux of that problem is not a problem, but it wasn't real. It wasn't. It was not real. Even the crazy thing from the FBI with the hot dogs and the water and all that stupid stuff, none of it was real. You were suckered. Now, was it a Russian campaign for disinformation? Probably not. Some of it might have been early on, but basically it was just a bunch of Americans that go by stupid names. They sound like they're idiots, right? Let's call them Benny Johnson. Let's call them Laura Loomer. Bunch of idiots, morons, degenerate scumbag, losers, and liars. They found they could make money off you by grifting you and getting ad revenue and getting you to watch them and getting, lots of views and make lots of money lying to you and telling you what you want to hear. That election are be stolen because there am be suitcases. And how do you fall for that? How are you dumb enough to even fall for something silly like that? That's the point. That's the point right there. However, I'm still voting for Donald Trump. I mean, it doesn't change anything. Fundamentally, everybody thinks that he's a danger to democracy. Democrats are just as big a danger to democracy as Republicans. And everybody who's anybody with a brain should be able to see that and know that. It's just a different level of breaking it down that you're looking at. And by the way, the constitutional people are the libertarians. And you have to ask yourself, where are libertarians right now? They're in the Republican Party. So anyway, now that I've gotten off my soapbox, let's get back to cryptocurrency. So, or as Maxine Waters says, I don't know where the bits and all the coins are. All I know right now is I need to get to my plastic surgeon because I need to talk to some people, and it's getting very tough to hook my lips together when I'm having a conversation. Or whatever the fuck she says. So anyway, but moving on, let's get crazy here. PCE coming out pretty good. So let's talk about the next piece. MAGA token. If you haven't already, then go check out. I did one last night. First of all, MAGA tokens, BODEN, DJT, all of them got dumped yesterday. It was buy the rumor, sell the news. The MAGA coin was up to about $11, which was just a very cool move. So I had somebody who reached out to me yesterday, told me they got in on the low over the last couple days, and that was fantastic, like awesome. I got in like 750 or something like that. Got in on one of these nice little dips. This thing ran up before the debate last night, ran up to $10.50. What happened when he hit the stage? It pulled an Elon and it went all the way down under $7. By the way, this is the accumulation zone right now. What I would encourage you to do is wait a few more hours to see which direction it goes. But it's $7 right now, $8 right now, kind of in this range. Look to see if it doesn't come back down into this little area right here, $6.50 to $7. If it does, ape, because it's going to take it's going to be a moonshot over the next couple days. In my opinion, it's going to start that trend back in the upside. Now, another one that's going to be, I think, maybe popping into the upside is this one right here. It's called MAGA hat. And where am the fuck it be? Here we go. True MAGA is what you're looking for over here on the chart. It's Trump's MAGA hat. It is a new meme coin. Now, as you can see right here, these guys have been doing this for about 30 days. I partnered with them. I made a video. I put the video on X last night, and then later on I put it on YouTube, so you can go check it out on either one of the platforms. But I mean, look what's happening over here. You can see here that they're getting a groundswell of support. And as we continue along this path, politify is going to be a thing. Political memes are a new paradigm in crypto that's got a $322,000 market cap, not with almost 100,000 in liquidity. That is not a bad number. And when it's not a bad number like that, and when you know the liquidity is locked, and when you know you've got the circulating supply, and you don't have any just red flags out here telling you, oh my God, this thing absolutely sucks. And by the way, look at this audit, the audit, everything passed, everything looks good. It created on 5/31. This thing is going to have another big parabolic sort of move. Now, how high will it go? I don't know that. It would be incredible to see it go to a 3 million market cap, but more likely a $30 million market cap. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's probably 100x from here. So that's my opinion, by the way, and I'm not a financial advisor, so I'm not giving you financial, but I'm telling you that I have a bag of it, and I'm going to hold on to it for a little while because I think that it's building up that support level. It's starting to get into that little sentiment right there, and people who are in stuff like Trump into MAGA, people who are into these tokens, by the way, they're going to be looking for other political meme-fi tokens, and this is going to be one of them I think they will find, and this thing is probably going to pump. And it showed a little bit of strength here, and the fact that it showed some strength here and consolidated in a decent range probably means it's going to have a nice little rip. So I do think that between 3 to 10 million would be my target for a move, which would be about a 10 to 30x from here. After that, I don't know. It could go further. Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. But it's funny, and these guys are actually, if you go to their X account and you go look at it, they're actually having a lot of fun with it. And they make ridiculous memes. This is the most ridiculously funny meme coin face ever. It's Donald Trump's fat face, his fat orange blonde 80-year-old face puckering up with a Trump MAGA hat on. And as you go through here, you're going to find more and more stuff where, like Biden's brain loading, stuff like that. And as you go down, you will see that there's plenty of different memes that, and there's a really handsome guy right there. But there's plenty of different memes that are coming out from these guys. So it's one of those things where I get a sense that, it's probably gonna make a move. So be watching out for that if you have it. It's called True MAGA. Now on the flip side to this, the odds of Trump winning have gone significantly up in the last 24 hours. The odds of victory have surged to 67%, and Biden's chance of becoming the Democratic nominee slid from 99% down to 70% in a few hours. And Gavin Newsom's odds jumped to 15%. So I'm getting, I get the sense here that the Democrats are going to be desperate pretty soon. They're going to have to make a move because they cannot keep going the way that they are. So I would be watching out for this to happen very soon. Also, 3 cryptocurrencies to watch out for this weekend they're going to give you this is going to be a telling time right now. After we get through the expiry, and the expiry is almost over, I would say by the next 2 hours, 2.5 hours, we'll know exactly what it looks like from there. But over the next 2 hours, 2.5 hours, there's going to be 3 tokens to watch over the weekend. Number 1 is going to be Ethereum. According to Reuters, the US SEC may approve the ETF for launch in early July. So that's the reason that you're going to be wanting to watch Ethereum. And by the way, just so you guys understand, what the government likes to do is they like to pull their little bullshit after 5 p.m. or at the end of the day on Friday. So right now is the time to be listening for a big move coming out of Ethereum. So I would be watching for that to happen. The other one that you should be watching out for is going to be Avalanche. Avalanche is the best performing crypto in the top 20 projects right now. It rallied over 10% in the last 24 hours. And CoinCodex does think that it's probably going to rally back up to $94 in July. So currently it is trading at 28.26. So that's a strong prediction of a very big move for Avalanche. Is it going to do that? I don't think so. What I think is it went to $66. If it can get back into the range of the resistance, which was around 52 to 56, if it does that, it's going to be a fantastic move. It's going to be about a 2x. So I would say that that's more likely than $96, but the reversal is in, and it looks like Avalanche is starting to make a move. And the other one is still Solana until it's not. So the Solana ETF was filed for by Van Eck, and the chart immediately started to pump. Right. So as we start to get the pieces to what does it look like to have a Solana ETF into place, if we start to see something like that, then we will be, we will be figuring out a way, in fact, for something like that to really, really, really pump this price. Right. So now that we have the information, the FOMO can begin. So the next thing we're looking for is just that last piece to throw Solana over the top. But let's move on. Here is Logan Paul. So if you guys don't know, Logan Paul is the United States heavyweight champion in the World Wrestling Federation or World Wrestling Entertainment. And you can see here, I got a picture of Logan Paul with a couple of grandparents, fans, I want to say. Most likely, these are people that wanted to get him on Pornhub or something like that. To do a video with him, I don't know, just some fans. Anyway, he signed an autograph for them. You can see that right there. Anyway, he has sued Coffeezilla. Remember, Coffeezilla is that tubby little bucket of hate that shows up on YouTube with "this is a scam, this is a scam, this is a scam." He was best friends with Mr. Beast, which is where he stole his style and stuff like that. So I am, by the way, you can see here, I don't really respect him that much. So the suit seeks $75,000 in damages, plus an additional legal fee and additional damages as deemed necessary by the court. So what he said, this is about CryptoZoo. The charges were filed in a San Antonio district court on June 27, with him alleging that Findeason, it's Stephen Findeason, maliciously and repeatedly published false statements accusing Paul of operating a scam in connection with CryptoZoo. The court documents allege that Findeason, Vin Diesel, get the fuck out of here, has perpetuated this false narrative despite knowing it to be completely and utterly false in order to enhance his own profile and increase his viewership and income in the process. Logan Paul, bitch, sue me. God damn. Make me famous too. Ain't that a bitch? Anyway, the court filings allege that Coffeezilla omitted key information in his videos, which demonstrated Paul never intended to scam anyone, but to the contrary, has always intended to build a legitimate blockchain-based game. The document blame advisor Jake Greenbaum and developer Eduardo Ibanez for the project's failure, saying Ibanez turned out to be a charlatan who has completely overseen the process and failed to pay his team of developers. So we'll see how this plays out, but it's very, very interesting to me that Logan Paul's seen here with, I assume, his grandparents are. And by the way, I'm just digging in on Triple H, by the way. For those of you that don't know, I am a wrestling fan, and Triple H, the absolute GOAT for me. I think he was the best performer in wrestling for the last 30 years. And don't at me with your stone cold stupid stuff, and don't give me, well, what about The Rock? No, the best performer is right there. It is Triple H. Best titties, of course, Stephanie, I assume. I don't know really, because I don't know. I assume that's why they, I mean, I remember the thing, where he got her drugged up, and, you can't say it anymore, but you know what he did. You know what he did and why they got married. So anyway, let's move on here and let's get into the DevvE ecosystem. There are a couple of announcements for DevvE that just came out. There's another series of questions that are available for you. So if you have not already, then you can go check them out. And all right, so the next bunch of questions are, we're excited to announce the fourth quiz. Number one, what is the name of the wallet token that allows DevX to protect assets against any loss? And number two, what are the three main centralized exchanges where you can find DevvE? Number three, what are the first two tokens that will be part of the Dev drop? 4, how many articles does the insight section show? And number 5, how many Genesis NFTs will be minted? If you can answer those questions, be the first person to do that, you win $100 USDT weekly in their Telegram, and then $150 for the monthly leaderboard champion for this in DevvE tokens. So also, This is the Genesis NFT update. We're excited to announce that the staking snapshot for receiving the Genesis NFT was completed on the 20th. As a result, we have launched 378 Launchpad Genesis founders. We will mint 400 NFTs. I just answered a question for you. These 22 reserved for future marketing by the Forever Association. These will be minted on the DevX mainnet and available on glassblocks.io after claiming. I just named another one for you. Important. Trading Genesis NFTs will not transfer token utility at the moment. Please read the full article before buying or selling. There is an article on Medium that you can go check out if you are in that. Well, actually, it might be. Yeah, it is on Medium, I think. Yeah, Medium article is available if you want to go check it out and read it. So anyway, I would certainly check that out. That is Triple H and Vince's daughter. That is correct. Stephanie, a long time ago, big story. This big story. We can't even talk about it now because Me Too, but it was wild. It was wild. The short story was Stephanie was banging the Stephanie was banging the bodyguard for Motley Crue, and they were going to get married. And then Triple H and D-Generation X drugged Stephanie and then took her to the Chapel o' Love and got married while she was passed out. And then they went on their honeymoon. And they didn't censor this, by the way. And then a little while later on, they got an annulment, and then her and Test, which is his name, Test was the bodyguard for Motley Crue. They were going to get married. As they were getting ready to get married, she walked out there, swerved him, slapped him in the face, and sided with Triple H. And then they got married on screen. They got married in real life. By the way, just so you know, before that, Triple H was banging China, and then he cheated on China with Stephanie. So just wild stuff. And wrestling is wild. So that's true, by the way. That's exactly what happened. So anyway, check out the DevvE ecosystem. Next up, Terra Luna Classic. I was wrong yesterday. I said 2 trillion tokens are going to be burned in the 2 trillion tokens were going to be burned. It looks like it's going to be more like 19 billion, like not even close. Going to be a huge amount. 30% of the supply, 35% of the supply of USTC is about to be burned. So that one's going to be a big deal, but it doesn't look like that it's going to be a big deal otherwise. So, you know, maybe I got that wrong. I'm not sure yet. There's a couple of, Chad Dominic says fake ass wrestling. Yeah, you know, movies are fake too, right? And the shit that happens on TV doesn't really happen. Like, you know, everything's fake in like, except the moon landing. That was obviously real, but the rest of it is all fake. So, and when, you know what, and when JFK Jr. gets back and tells everybody, then you'll know it too. Yeah, I wonder if some people are still sitting in Dallas waiting for him to come back. Unbelievable stuff. Anyway, so looks like 274 billion in one wallet and 19 billion in a series of other wallets. So at best, it looks like maybe about 291 billion will be burned, but it's also possible that there's about 4 billion USTC tokens. It seems like they're pretty consolidated and centralized at this point. So very possible, very, 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 very possible that we get a significant burn no matter what. Because remember, we've only burned 113 billion tokens over all of this time anyway. So it's not like we're burning huge amounts. This would actually be a significant portion of supply if all of these are true. Now, there is a wallet out there with 2.19 trillion tokens sitting in it that doesn't appear to be part. I don't know if it's claimed or it's part of it or any of that. I don't know. But we're certainly trying to investigate it and figure out what it is, because if it's an unknown wallet from part of from Terraform Labs or the Luna Foundation Guard, if it's one of those, then this thing could pop off like crazy. And it's not just that it could 10x, both of them, by the way, USTC and LUNC, it could 10x. But when you reduce the supply, that could cause it to spike even more, and you just see a random 20x out of it. That's just kind of how this shit works. So watch for Luna Classic to have some kind of surprising developments coming over the next 30 days as we get closer to that burn period. Now, for Saitama, now we've been, guys, I've been kind of a Saitama maxi here for a little bit because I really think that this is a good community. And I think they've been doing a fantastic job of engaging people in the market. But as you can see, it still kind of wanes down, and you get, and just to give you kind of an idea here, if you go here and you start doing the math and you start looking at the volume and everything like that, you'll see that more money has come in than gone out in the last 3 or 4 hours. But despite the fact that that's exactly what's happening, the price is going down. Why is the price going down? Well, the market is starting to bleed a little bit. It's down $30 billion in the last few hours. Solana was $150 yesterday. It's $141 today. So the market is still not ready for that big impulse move because of it, possibly, I'm not sure yet, but possibly because of what we were talking about before. And what we were talking about before was the expiries. If the expiries are significant and it causes bearishness, then we're going to go down a little bit. If, however, we win, if you will, and it comes out on the other side really good, then boom, we're off to see the wizard, if you will. So Bollinger Bands kind of setting themselves up here pretty aggressively. They tightened a little bit, but they're starting to open back up. Looks like we're bouncing off of the 20 MA right here. Whether we bounce off of it or not, I don't know yet. It's still early. So, but I'm super bullish about it in the long term. And I do think that we're about to have the next leg up. I do have inside details, which I'm not allowed to share with anybody. So, I can't share them with you, but I can tell you that it is my opinion that we're going to have a significant move here. And by the way, this appears to be pretty aggressive when you look at it on a short term. One of those silly pump things kind of disappeared. It's one of those big candles that just out of randomly shows up, maybe a MEV bot or something like that, which gets smoothed out in the larger time frames. So if we move this down into this range right here, then you can see that my expectation for the next pump would be kind of into the 22 range right here. I don't think that's right. No, that cannot be right. That absolutely cannot be right, because we did have 22 cents and it was at 17 cents. It was at certain high levels. So I don't think there's something right here on this hourly chart. So let's check this out one more time. Yeah, that is not correct. What they have here is not correct on the daily. So let's go back to that and pull it out and go back to that. Yeah, that looks more, this is more like it, because if we're going to break out, it's going to have to go above. So, somewhere in that 50-cent range might be the next big move. I don't know yet. We'll see. But looking for a breakout. Now, let's go down this real quick. Remember, the rest of this, by the way, is going to be brought to you by TradeMaster Ninjas. So start off. And by the way, I do have a private chat that's going to be opening up. I haven't given you the information on it, but I'm going to start posting it all over X today and in here in all my videos a little bit later on. It's going to be a private call channel to let you guys know when you should be entering and exiting trades. So, and it's just to help you guys out. Remember, it's not financial advice. It is a financial tool. And, if it works, it works. Daddy is up. This is Rodney's daddy, not Andrew Tate's daddy, which is actually Iggy Azalea, who's mommy, which is really kind of weird. And Iggy Azalea, am I right? Daddy is up 25% on the day. GME is up 13%. FIAS is up 10% on the day. EXVG is up 5% on the day. AMC up 5%. TradeMaster's up 3%. Ski's up 3%. Saitama's up 2%. Dougal retracing a little bit, kind of sideways though. You might be getting another big leg up on Dougal. I'm not sure. I don't know for certain, but it's kind of looking like it's got some momentum behind it and continue to have that momentum. So True MAGA again is up. It's continuing to just kind of just pump its way up a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more, a little bit more. And as you see it here, it's just kind of growing and growing and growing. If it gets back to the all-time high, which was, what is it, up here, it'll be about 2x from where it is right now. So, certainly some opportunity. Neko at 4307. They're going to start a marketing campaign pretty soon. So Neko might have some, might be making some noise pretty soon. Brett is down a little bit. Ben, I have no idea what's going on. By the way, if you haven't been paying attention, Ben Armstrong is now swapping from crypto to TradFi. I don't know what that's about, but he posted something on Twitter today or yesterday saying that gold is better than Bitcoin. And that's usually when a maxi's moving over to a different project or product or something like that. So we'll see what happens over the next little while. I don't know what that's all about. Might be a marketing ploy, might not be. We'll see. Pepe down 2%, Floki down, Bonk down, DevvE down 4%, Volt down 4.5%, Skid down 8%, Myro 9%, Dog with Hat 9%, and Trump down 17%. So I mean that's basically your market right now. As far as mains go, we're down 29 billion on the day. Bitcoin at 60,870. We could be looking at another significant dip here, but 60,680 or 60,007 seems to be the area where we might scoop this up and hit a big reversal from that move. Ethereum, we still got bullish sentiment going despite this little downturn on the day that just happened over the last couple of hours. By the way, this is in the last hour-ish or so. If we zoom in on it on the 1 hour, then you can see that, basically right now is the time where it's coming down. Weird that it's all coming down while the Dow Jones is pumping. Now, if we were to actually move over to 10-year bond yield, 10-year treasury, all right, 10-year 4.32. So I've got not near that 5. It's back down a little bit. So that's usually pretty bullish for the crypto market. So yeah, I think that we're probably in pretty good straits. Now, I got to get out of here. I got to pick my kid up. Got to get ready for the next show. So thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate each and every one of you. Remember, nothing that I tell you or give you is financial advice. It is all my opinion, and I'm not a financial advisor. If you want financial advice, go to somebody who is a financial advisor, but they probably can't do much for you in crypto. So I'm just giving you this for entertainment purposes. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now let's pay some bills. Folks, if crypto goes up, you need more crypto. If crypto goes sideways, you need more crypto. If crypto goes down, you need even more crypto. What better place to do it than Cryptonomy.finance? Remember, Cryptonomy is a hedge against whatever might befall this economy and this market. So let's check it out. Since the last time we talked, 2.3x return, 2.95x return, 2.37x return, 1.4x return, 1.59x return. Now, in the meantime, I'm going to take my XRP. I've got 12,800 XRP. I'm going to max that out. I'm going to stake this for 9 months here, 71.8% yield return. That's going to give me an estimated amount, 9,208 more XRP. Don't you want more XRP? Now that I've done that, I'm going to go back over here to the launch pool. I'm going to throw in about half a Bitcoin. Again, I'm going to be in the bronze level, put 0.43 in. That's a good risk for me and a good return for me. Folks, it doesn't get any simpler than this.